Good evening. This is Chris, the old guy, and I just thought I just want to touch base with what I just saw on YouTube, and it's pretty intense. It's regards to the fanatics takeover of the company Tops, and well, it's probably a good thing. It's going to drive costs down. So being a set collector, I might be able to save some money. But if they're not going to print out the variations of random cards and they're only going to have one single card of the card, then who's to say the company doesn't screw up and there's one card that comes down on a printout because some photographer or someone there that takes the pictures gets one in the line of the production and it screws it up and basically it becomes an error card. I mean, it's going to happen. Like it or leave it. It's the variation cards keep the drive of the collector. That has actually got me back into collecting the numbered variation cards, not the variation cards or the colored cards that look like rainbows and stuff, but the variation cards that have the numbered cards on top of the cards that are, you know, the regular numbers. That's what keeps the drive of the collection, because we all don't have those particular, all of them. It's just mathematically impossible to get all the cards. Stormy's being a pain. I wanted to go through my Target set right now and open up the variations on that set. I'll do it some other time when the cat's sleeping or whatever. I got some time, maybe tomorrow or tonight at about 4 o'clock in the morning. But I just wanted to touch base with it, and I believe I signed up for Fanatics, you know, so you're going to have access to, if I want to go into a break. I don't really like breaks. I don't really like that stuff. I'm old school. An old guy likes the variations, and he wishes that they keep, if they're watching the videos and watching people's feeds for the collectors. I'm not a hardcore collector. I am a core collector. But if they're watching the collectors out there, they're going to want to know that the variations should stay in play. I mean, like I said, all these pictures that they take for the cameras and stuff, you know, eventually someone's going to screw up and something's going to happen where an extra picture happens for another card, and it's going to get caught in production. It's just bound to happen. The other thing is you know, the drive of the cost of the cards are going to stay substantially down. If they overproduce and flood the market like they did in the 80s, well, that's a problem. Me as a collector, in my age, I will probably sport the older sets and buy some of the older sets and get into the traditional classic cards and go back to the 80s and try to rekindle my childhood like I am now. The bottom line is I hope variations stay in the sets. I hope they come up with, like, maybe this first year that takes a dive. They're trying to cater to the money in the marketplace where they, you know, Fanatics has bought so much. There's so much appeal to, you know, clothing and other lines of stuff that they have, that they think that they're going to get more money outside of the collector versus the non-collector. The non-collector is where the money is, because they're introducing to the product and stuff. But who knows? It might just turn out to be, you know, they might change it. Then the second thing I wanted to say is that's going to drive the cost of Tops now, if they still produce Tops now, because those cards are singly in their own set in and of itself. So Tops now will basically, you know, you'll have another no, I'm not going to use the word variation. You'll have another set picture of, say, Gunnar Henderson or something of another set that you can collect. But if they get rid of the variations, you're not going to have 12 to 15 extra cards that you want to collect of that particular player. You know, there's just so many out there. I kind of like the idea of axing the variations, but I kind of don't like it because the variations are the one cards that are worth the money from the sets. You know, I'm just saying, I'm being practical. You know, I'm a casual collector / core collector that knows the value of what you want to buy versus what is driving the cost of a collector and his income to drive to buy what he wants versus what is out there. And you're forgetting the collector format, the drive, if you take away the variations. That's just my thought to all of it. But YouTube had some interesting tidbits of what I just saw. I just online. I just wanted to see what's going on. That's what I want to touch base. So the next few hours I'll make another video, or probably tomorrow. But you know, it's just my thought. Like, subscribe. Think about it. You know, you're getting rid of variations. Don't do it. I mean, if I was at the table and they're getting ready to print out the 2024s, I would tell them specifically, you know, at least have some variations, you know, and limited them to, like, say 1 out of 1,000. So it's, you know, 1 out of 1,000, and they mass produce, say, 2 million cards of a particular set. 1 out of 1,000 is, say, 5,000 limited variation cards of one particular player. I'm just saying, I'm being practical. The bottom line is, don't get rid of them. There's a lot of core collectors that are just not going to like it. And maybe I'm part of a core collector because I see the money that's in the variations, and I'm getting back into the hobby, and I see what the transparency of what the collector wants. The beginner collector doesn't care. You know, they want certain players, certain this, certain that. And if they don't have what they want, you know, then it's not worth their time. You know, just a thought. You know, the variations is what drives the hobby. So I'll keep you posted if I see anything else. But thank you for your time.